We're hoping to get an idea of how Wales will now gear up for the World Cup, starting with squad selection. That's coming up very soon. A few headaches, I imagine.
Yeah, I think we're looking at picking a squad of about 45 players. It's really seeing how the next couple of weeks go, and then sort of making sure that the players get a break first towards the end of the season. And you know, a couple of teams are going to finish earlier, perhaps 3 teams. Looks like the Ospreys are going to go on to semi-finals, hopefully for finals. So it's making sure that the players at least probably get 4 or 5 weeks rest, and then we're looking at naming a sort of an extended squad on the 8th of June, and then sort of bringing players in and sort of staggering them in June to come in and train initially at the Vale and prepare for the first training camp that we have in Switzerland.
Are there some outsiders that maybe people could be surprised with?
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 names that we're sort of talking about and looking at in terms of players that haven't been involved in the squad before. So we're going to go and look at the Ospreys game on Friday, and there's 1 or 2 players that we're looking at there, and then going to go down on Sunday to watch the Scarlets play as well. So there's I think there's always going to be 1 or 2 surprises, but I think in saying that there's a lot of experience of players that have been around for a long time as well, and some players that perhaps have been slightly out of favour in recent times. You talk about there may be opportunities for Mike Phillips to come back on the scene, James Hooks and so on, but you've also got that sort of time of the year. There's a lot of weddings going on, and Alan Wynne-Jones probably won't go to the first camp. I think his wife's due a baby, so we've got to look at some family issues as well, and that's important, making sure that things are right for the players at home too.
And after that selection then, the next step is the training camps. Could you tell us a bit more about those training camps and where you'll be going?
Yeah, the first training camps in Switzerland, we're in a place called Flesch, where the boys will be going up in sort of the cable car and staying up and sleeping at altitude, and then coming down in the morning and training. So it's sort of sleep high, train low sort of theory. I'm taking a lot of advice from the fitness trainers here about how effective this is going to be, and then we come back from that and we go to Qatar, where we're looking at warm weather training, and it was something that was effective when I was involved with the Lions a couple of years ago, and players got a lot of benefit out of sort of training in that heat and getting a sort of a hemoglobin and increase in the blood, and that helping with sort of the red blood cells and getting the players sort of getting a hit out of that, and then we come back with a couple of warm-up games, and we've got a camp in Poland in between. So it's going to be tough, really tough on the players, and it's not. I want to stress these players aren't going to 5-star hotels and lording it sort of up. They'll be staying in sort of campus-style facilities, sort of 2 to a room, sleeping in single beds, and sort of eating sort of buffets with other athletes and stuff. So it's not going to be anything fancy. It's going to be hard work, and hopefully we get a huge amount of benefit out of it.
You spoke a little bit about those warm-up games there. Italy and Ireland at the stadium. What can people expect? Tickets go on sale. What can people expect from those 2 games?
Well, I think there'll be sort of 2 different focuses really. I mean, in terms of the Ireland game here at home, and then we play them away. So, and that's we play them twice before the World Cup squad's announced. So there's an opportunity for us to look at some combinations to give players a chance to force their way into the World Cup squad. So probably the focus on that's going to be slightly different for both those games against Ireland. Playing against the Six Nations champions, it's going to be tough, and they're a very experienced team. So and then the Italy game, it's the game after the World Cup squad's been announced. So you're probably the focus on that is probably putting out a pretty strong side to get a good performance. Again, looking at combinations, because the tough thing about it, even though it's in the group of death with the Australia and England and Fiji, aren't going to be easy. I mean, for us, the first one you play Uruguay first, and then we've got a 6-day turnaround to England, then a 5-day turnaround to Fiji, and that's going to be the most challenging aspect of the World Cup for us, is not being able to get up for the 6-day turnaround for England, but that 5-day turnaround for Fiji. I mean, some sore bodies, and guys pretty tired, and You've got to make sure we're right for that Fiji game, because then we've got a bit of a break before, 9 days before Australia. So that's how we manage the players in that period, and particularly with the warm-up games. And it should be a great game here at home against Ireland. Looking forward to the away one, and then World Cup squads announced, and Italy here, and be looking forward to everyone getting behind us and supporting us. Some of these fans are brilliant here in Wales. I still think it's the best stadium in world rugby, and really looking forward to it.
With those 2 warm-up games at the stadium, is it a chance for people, obviously tickets very expensive for the World Cup, is it a chance for people to get a taste of that World Cup experience and what's gearing up to be a great World Cup?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's a chance for people to come and see some players come and sort of maybe take the opportunities that are given to them. And we look back on 2011, the way we prepared, and I can promise you, by the time those warm-up games come, we might be a little bit underdone rugby-wise, but these guys physically will be in great shape, and it'll be a great opportunity for people to see the desire of players to say, actually, I've got a chance here to go out there and stake a claim, put my name forward, and hopefully get selected for this World Cup. And so there's a huge amount on that. It's a great chance for fit kids and parents, and bring the family along, and to watch some of the stars out there, before the World Cup really kicks off, and before the team's selected.
With 8 games coming to the Millennium Stadium, do you feel that it's going to bring the World Cup closer to Wales and kind of immerse people more in the whole atmosphere? Oh,
absolutely. I think it's a great venue. It's a great city to host games. They're very experienced at it. So having 8 games in the Millennium Stadium, a couple of quarterfinals as well. The variation of teams coming here is, not only do we play a couple of games, but you've got teams like Georgia and the All Blacks, and I think France and Ireland here as well. So I think it'd be fantastic in terms of the opportunity for fans around the world to come and spend some time here in Cardiff to experience the stadium as well. And great for us to have a couple of games here at home as well, and get the Welsh public really behind us in terms of when we've got to go play a couple of tough games up in Twickenham.
All in all, though, excited for what's coming?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really excited because I think of the experience of 2011, and we still think about that, and think about what might have been. If obviously we think about the setting off, and even with that, we still had a chance of winning that semi-final, and so with that a little bit more experience, and you look, a lot of those players were involved in 2011. They're sort of 4 years older, and players like Lee Halfpenny now 26, and Jamie Roberts, and Jonathan Davies, sort of mid to late 20s. We've got some real experience, and a lot of those players, excitingly, should be around in 2019. They might be in their early 30s, but I think ideally we'd like to build on those experiences in 2011. The fact that we're at home is fantastic, and the experience of the squad. Hopefully we can deliver something special for Wales.